Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And we have a card deck we have not seen in eons, absolutely eons. And it's an awesome deck. It's more involved and it takes a little longer but grab your cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and let's do some deep diving here, shall we? So we'll give it a minute for the regulars to pop on. Oh, there's Miss Jo Neal, one of our regulars. Glad you are here. Um, so yes, these cards typically take 3 times as long to read as the usuals. Good morning, Miss Nancy. Glad you are here. Welcome. Glad to have you both online. We'll see how many others pop on. So we have one on YouTube and one on Facebook thus far. And I feel like this is such an auspicious day for this particular card to pop up and really soak up the message today. Really soak it up because this is such good stuff, such good stuff. So without further ado, let's do a little tapping and breath. And then we're going to jump in because, again, they are longer cards. So hopefully some of the other regulars will pop on in the interim. Take a breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Beth and Barb. Welcome, welcome. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So I'm sure some of you have guessed already which card deck it is because of how I've described it. We have the Wild Kuan Yin deck by Alana Fairchild. I love this deck. Love this deck. You had a terrible thunderstorm around 3 a.m. I don't think we had. Well, it looks like the pavement might be wet. A little too dark to tell yet. But I think the weather's going to be dicey for the next several days. So I took time yesterday. There's a church in town that has land next to it that looks like it would be just lovely for an intentional community. So I went to walk the perimeter of the block, which is probably as big as 4 blocks because it's a big church. It's a new church. Good morning, Janine. Glad you are here. Welcome. And so then went and sat in the park with Diane and we kind of watched the ducks and geese and people and dogs and all the things. So, yeah, Wild Kuan Yin. Take a breath in, open to receiving this message. The slave dances into freedom. The slave dances into freedom. This is a powerful card, a very powerful card. So, settle in, grab your tea. Let's see what you think. The slave dances into freedom. I overcome restraint, imprisonment, and conflict with a greater power, that of love. You have been on a path that no longer serves your highest good. Whether you believe you have chosen that path or it seems to have taken on a life of its own through habit and momentum, the time has come for you to be free of it. Just going to let that sit for a moment. The time has come for you to be free of it. I shall free you from the negative influence of even the most persistent struggle or devastating conditions with one simple gesture. Do not be attached to the war you have endured, my beloved wild warrior. It is over by my grace. You are enslaved no longer. It is your time to step forward. You are granted a free pass by the hand of grace, and a new reality of freedom is yours. Feel no guilt or fear over this. It is your time to dance from slavery into freedom. Others will join you when their time comes. No longer are you required to go into battle. Come join my joyful dance of freedom. A war is over for you. It is not a matter of it becoming less difficult or you being able to handle it with more finesse. It is simply finished. It might seem to have been dragging on for so long that you came to believe it was just the way of life, the way life would always be. Or perhaps this ending is abrupt, as though something that could have developed into a truly difficult and long-term struggle has been unexpectedly brought to a swift end. No matter what the circumstances may be, or whether you think something should be ending now, the higher truth is that you have been granted honorable discharge for karmic duty completed. Soon you will be experiencing life in a completely different way, free from a legacy of darkness that once held you down, trapped in conflict that perhaps even became bitter, disheartening, and draining. That darkness may have held you enthralled in an internal pattern of repetitive suffering and struggle, or it may have been your seduction, dominance, or enslavement of the power of another person, or any external set of circumstances. This taste of freedom bestowed, good morning, Gwen, glad you're here, shall not only be sweet, it shall be utter and complete. This oracle does not foretell a temporary shift in energy or a limited respite from the struggle. It foretells a deeper and more far-reaching change. And those of you for whom this is resonating, because I know it's resonating for several of you, please, please let others know. Have them watch this. Have them see how this might fit for them, your beloveds who are struggling with stuff. It foretells a deeper and far more reaching change. It indicates nothing but a complete and clean ending and a fresh new start in an entirely upgraded field of consciousness where enslavement is replaced with freedom. You may believe this to be nearly impossible, but it is what has been directed by the Divine Mother, and so it shall be. Know that you have been freed from service within the ranks of soldiers, even from within the ranks of generals. This grant has come from the higher ranks of spiritual servers who have noted that you have obtained all benefit possible from your struggles now. Courage, strength, faith in the absence of obvious signs. Such struggle has served its purpose and run its course. Done is done, folks. Done is done. The oracle of the slave dances into freedom speaks of a profound shift in consciousness, a liberation from enslavement in a state of being based on opposition, struggle, and suffering. And I'm going to put fear in there. Even if you happen to believe in what you were fighting for, though of course this oracle also applies if you've had little passion for the war you were in. This previous way of being created struggle and friction, allowing you to move forwards only a step to fall back, to gain ground in your journey only to have another try to steal it away with undermining behavior, sabotage, anger, and other forms of fearful resistance. That's what that was. That's what that was. Exactly, Joniel. Exactly. This created a state of war. Hold, please. Gotta turn the page. In your own being. You had to fight for what you wanted nearly constantly. It might have been a war you were waging within yourself, between heart and head, or body and mind, between being who you truly are and who you believed you had to be to gain acceptance or be successful in the material world. It might also have been a war in your external world, a bitter custody battle or a relationship breakup, a recovery from substance abuse, an abusive relationship or work situation where you have been fighting to gain your sense of self, respect, peace, love, or gentleness. It may be that your life has been such a struggle for survival, financial or otherwise, even though you have worked hard to have faith. Perhaps circumstances have not really changed for you, and you are feeling at the end of your ability to hope, about to give up and slip into deep darkness, despair, or depression. Or perhaps you have been at war with life, believing it is not right as it is, and that it must be changed, and have constantly plunged head first into battle with all that is, perhaps from anger or fear or a sense of injustice. Many of us are feeling that sense of injustice. The divine loves your fighting spirit, but you are to be protected from a too long battle that could poison your beautiful heart with bitterness, leaving you depleted. Instead, it is recognized that you are in need of solace, sweetness, and a sense of purposeful passion that does not dry you out, but fills you up and allows you to offer healing to the world rather than trying to bend the world to your will. No matter how your war has manifested in obvious or more subtle ways, know this: it is coming to an end. Sometimes when we have been at war, in constant struggle for prolonged periods of time, we forget there is another way. The habit of struggle becomes ingrained in us. We perceive stress and threat where there is none. It is a car backfiring and a person reacting as though it were a gunshot. It is a simple remark made without intention to hurt that feels like a full-blown attack. Or perhaps our ingrained reactions are more internal. We believe the world is out to get us, that people want to harm more often than help, that it is less likely that we'll receive goodwill and encouragement, and more likely we'll be met with envy, jealousy, fear, sabotage, and nastiness in human relationships. So, although your freedom is going to be granted in an instant, you may not register it immediately. Perhaps you'll need some time to process this divine intervention and realize its effects. It may be a short or long time, but the adjustment period will need to take place. One can feel great joy at the end of a struggle, yet after that initial sense of exhilaration, it can seem rather disorienting too. It is great to be free, but what does one do now? What happens to all the energy and focus you used to invest in the struggle? You may fall into an exhausted heap as you recover from the spiritual marathon you have been undertaking, and that is natural and to be accepted. However, soon enough, that recovery will be sufficiently completed, and you will be ready to live your life again, anew. You may have questions, even confusion for a time. How do I live differently? How do I think and behave in a way that reflects a new life rather than the old, outdated struggle? This may be quite perplexing when the war has consumed body and mind, perhaps taken a prominent place in your psyche, perhaps becoming the issue upon which you project all of your anxieties, hopes, and fears. And yet, the greater the war was for you, the sweeter the relief shall be, and the bigger the opportunity for something different now in your hands. You don't have to understand how this can be. It doesn't have to logically resolve itself. Get out of your head and into your heart. Not everyone you know needs to be in the same place that you are. They may still be at war for a time. It may be sad to leave some of your former comrades behind. Yet if they are not ready to leave the battlefield, and if they cannot accept that you are no longer willing to fight the war, there may not be much hope for continued connection, at least until they are also ready to move on. For now, focus on you. It may be that your thriving beyond the war zone becomes an inspiration that empowers others to make similar choices. So accept this gift for yourself without condition. You have been discharged by divine decree. Your release is unconditional. You don't have to do anything to earn it, or grab it, or hold it. It is given now. The healing process will be your way of accepting the discharge papers for duties fulfilled and your pass into a new life. Take your time. Beneath what appears to be, however, life is thriving. When the moment is right, life reveals itself in most miraculous demonstration. From the night blooming flower to the oasis, from the creatures that have adapted to thrive in desert conditions to the sudden and swift eruption of life that abounds after precious rainfall, the desert teaches us about life. Life in the desert, in particular, demonstrates the power of creative, adaptable intelligence, that aspect of the natural world that learns to thrive no matter the odds against it. This intelligence of adaptation and thinking creatively to overcome odds exists within you too. The Oracle of Desert Harvest comes to you. Wait, Desert Harvest. Hang on here. Whoops, missed page. Sorry. Be gentle. Get used to living in a different way and surrender into your prayers daily, perhaps through this healing process, for as long as is needed to completely integrate your blessing of liberation. I love that word, liberation. We're liberating ourselves from what has constrained us, from what has kept us playing small. Don't be afraid to celebrate your own happiness and leave the war zone, physical, psychological, emotional, behind you now. Freedom is yours. So here's the healing process. So find a comfy spot and let's do this together. Sit quietly with the palms of your hands turned upwards as if to receive, around the level of your heart. Say the following out loud. You don't have to speak loudly, just clearly and with quiet confidence from your heart. So we'll do call and response like usual. I gratefully receive unconditional release from the wars that have been ravaging my mind, body, and soul. From my heart, I offer gratitude to Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally, and give thanks for the unconditional karmic grace that frees me now and allows me to experience new life. I call on those beings who love me unconditionally to assist in the process of healing and adjusting my physical body, emotional body, etheric body, mental body, and all energy fields. Help me integrate this blessing of liberation as swiftly and deeply as possible with naturalness and grace. I honor the learning of the past, and I forgive myself and all involved in it. I no longer need to hold on to anything. I trust completely in the new beginning that is being given to me. What needs to carry through from the past into the future will do so with divine love. And what no longer needs to be held shall be released freely and completely. Restoration and intervention are given to me now through divine decree. I am free, I am free, I am free. With peace in my heart and gratitude in my mind, I am thankful for this release. Through my own free will, so be it. Rest for a moment, perhaps with your eyes closed, with both palms facing upward at the heart to receive blessing. When that feels complete, then open your eyes, place your hands in prayer position, and bow your head. You have completed your healing process. The slave dances into freedom. Yes, yes, very powerful, right? Very powerful. I would love for you to share this with somebody who you feel is ready to be set free. And even if they aren't ready, sometimes this is a planting of seeds. This is a planting of seeds. Welcome to those of you who joined while I was reading. Glad to have you here. Share this with someone you feel could benefit. And if they poo-poo it, that's okay. Let it go. Let it go. Planting seeds. Have an awesome Tuesday. This is like I said, an auspicious message, timely message. Breathe it in. Listen to it multiple times. Soak it up. Have it influence your thoughts, your feelings, your actions today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.